let's say 3 signs to look for in your doctor. Okay, first one is it takes a long time to make an appointment. Of course, it always takes a long time to make an appointment. So how do you know? Is it some other reason, or are they really busy? You don't know, unless you happen to work there or know somebody that works in the office. So what I did was, okay, so you make the appointment, you wait the 2.5, 3 months, whatever it is, and then you go to the office really early, an hour, give it an hour early. You sit there, and you don't even, maybe you don't even have to make the appointment first. You could go, if you're interested in a doctor, you can go sit in their lobby, okay? And you're going to hear things are going to happen. People are going to call in. There's a receptionist right there with a phone. And if you get close, you can usually hear what's going on. And you can see other patients coming in. You can get the vibe of everything. And so, yeah, in my case, so I got there really early. And yeah, so ring, ring. Oh, you need an appointment? Yes, how about today? You know, or tomorrow, any day. Come on in anytime. And whew, suddenly enlightened. And so, you know, they weren't really that busy. They just didn't want to see you. And this happened with my very first doctor I was assigned to at Blue Shield was Dr. Charles Moser, M-O-S-E-R. And it turns out he only deals with gay patients. I'm not gay. And so I didn't understand why they weren't getting back to me or anything at all. And so I eventually figured it out. Yeah, they only deal with gay people. And so at least he was very honest. You can read it, go to his profile. I mean, you can see sometimes, what people they want to deal with. And if you're not in that group, then they're probably not going to help you, okay? And sometimes it's a little more hidden. So that's why you have to look for these signs, okay? Okay, sign number 2. They tell you to take a supplement, okay? Any kind of supplement. The worst one would be like calcium, vitamin D, or anything else, any supplement. And maybe you need the supplement. Maybe it's something that you really want, but maybe it isn't. And how do you know that the supplement is something you need? So let's say it's calcium. So your doctor sees you come in and you're probably elderly maybe, right? And they say, oh, you should take calcium because you don't want to get osteoporosis, you're getting older. And you say, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So you go home and you start taking these big calcium pills because you think it's a great idea. And you end up getting a heart attack because you coat the inside of your arteries with this calcium, which is a really bad thing. And that's a known problem. So if you're taking a supplement, even on your own, you need first thing first is, a blood test. Baseline, where your numbers are at. So with calcium, you certainly want to look at what's your current calcium number? You want to look at potassium, magnesium. Okay, and your doctor should know all this stuff, right? And they should be saying, oh, you don't want to take these supplements until we do all of this and make sure it's not going to hurt you, right? And so if they're just throwing this out there, telling you, just take these, they aren't interested in your health at all. They may even be trying to kill you, really. So don't do that. And if you want to test them, you can also just bring it up. Hi, doc, should I take vitamin D? I've been hearing a lot about it. Should I take it? And if they just say, yeah, just take it, they don't care about it. So you don't rate it. You're just not there, okay? For whatever reason, you don't know. Could be money, who knows, right? So, but this is why you have to test first, because you don't have to worry about motives. Accuse people of certain things. All you have to look at is test them out. Okay. The third sign to look for is they don't do annual tests. They should really be interested in blood work. They're looking through everything, especially as you get older. You have to look at cholesterol, and also your calcium levels and all this stuff that they should be really interested in, because there are signs you can check. Apparently like a third of people are going to get like neurological disorders like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. A third. Wow. And almost half are going to die of a heart attack. And the rest cancer, right? And there are tests you can do ahead of time. And if your doctor isn't really proactive, they're sucked into you. And as older people, we've got pressure. We got the younger people who really resent us for whatever reason. I wasn't my fault. I don't know why they're upset. And then you got, the government, and they really don't seem to want older people to live like forever. So especially longevity people, I don't see how this is going to work. You're going to have a lot of people that are going to say, it's going to be very, very weird. So anyway, you're on your own, and it's good to test your doctor and know, because especially here in San Francisco, I have never found a decent doctor yet. I'm going to create a no doctors group because you're on your own basically, especially here, because you don't know what doctor, unless they're really explicit about who they are going to help you, or are they just trying to, get a payment for their next super yacht. You don't know. So you test them out, 3 things, and there's more. There's a lot of things you can test, but that's good for today.